What's up YouTube, Capital G here, looking at a new tuner for Graydles, and I am really excited about this guy. This is Graydle Slime Jr. The artwork of the card is absolutely adorable. It's basically like a little baby version of Graydle Slime. Maybe it's Slime's son or something like that. But anyways, I'm just really excited that Graydles are getting more support. I talked about this a few months ago. It seems like in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are kind of like the haves and the have-nots. When it comes to archetypes, and I'm cool with some archetypes just sucking because, you know, certain mechanics are just not going to be as good as others. But when you get these archetypes like Graydles and Mages that get raw deals where they come out and, you know, they kind of get their one set of support and then you never really hear from them again, it's kind of like, well, what the hell? I mean, who's really going to be a fan of this when, you know, an archetype like Graydles have what, 8 cards to their name? You know what I mean? If you look at Mages, they were pretty much in the same situation in Clash of Rebellion, and then right after that, the very next set, Konami decided to do the same thing with Graydles. So, you know, you gotta give these archetypes more than one set of support, and it looks like they're trying to fix that. Now, I always thought that the release of Graydles was kind of precarious because, like, it didn't really make sense for Graydles to be released in docks when, you know, all the Graydle effects to like snatch steal monsters and all of their destruction is pretty much targeting, and Dimension of Chaos, that's kind of where targeting started to become not so great because Magispectors and the big Cosmo spaceships like Dark Destroyer were pretty much like, nah, you don't want to, like, you can't target us. So that was like, I thought the timing of Graydles was always something kind of weird. Like, this is an archetype that should have been like, I don't know, maybe like Secrets of Eternity-ish, but I guess they were still pushing like dual terminal at that point, so I guess, you know, it just didn't really make sense, or it just didn't fit. Anyways, this is Graydle Slime Jr. It's a level 2. It's an aqua tuner. That shouldn't be surprising. It's water also because all your Graydles are aqua and they're all water, so that doesn't surprise anybody. 0 attack and 2000 defense. The stat line of this card, 2000 defense, is actually really good. It means you can just set this guy. That's legitimate. But the fact that it has 0 attack is like so completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter at all. It's actually a good thing on the low. I'll talk about that in a second. When this card is normal summon, you can target one Graydle monster in your graveyard, special summon that monster, and you can special summon one aqua type monster of the same level from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except aqua types. Effect number 1 essentially is kind of like a blizzard effect. I think this effect is really good. I say it so because it gives the deck a lot more utility. Obviously, when you look at the whole effect, and when you look at everything as a whole, it opens up plays to get the Graydle Dragon a lot easier. By the way, if you're going to go for synchro plays during this turn, Graydle Dragon is the only aqua synchro in the entire game. Unless I'm mistaken, I looked it up on Dueling Network. It's the only card that came up. So obviously, if you're going for synchro plays, you're extremely limited. I think what Konami's going for, what they have in mind is they want you to go like 3-3-2. So like if you summon Slime Jr. and let's say you get a Cobra from your graveyard, they want you to be able to get, you know, they want you to be able to summon potentially like a Graydle Gator or an Eagle from your hand and just, you know, combine all of that into a Graydle Dragon. It seems like they're trying to make Dragon easier, but even if you don't go for the synchro play, like this effect number 1 just gives the deck way more utility. The fact is you can just summon a Graydle Gator or like an Eagle from your graveyard. It doesn't limit it, you know, to it not getting its effect, or it doesn't say that it can't attack. It doesn't say that it has to be in defense position or anything. You can just literally summon that Graydle from the graveyard and just ram it into something and just snatch steal your opponent's monster. Or you can get like a Graydle Gator back from the graveyard. You can blow it up with impact and then you can snatch steal your opponent's monster that way. So like there's so much utility, and the reason I like this effect a lot is because not only does it allow you to get the original Slime back, which Slime has always been a really fucking hard card to use, which is why if you found, like, if you see the most successful Graydle builds, they're not really synchro based because the deck really doesn't work that great as a synchro deck. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they only have one tuner and one synchro, but yeah, it just generally is like, it used too many resources trying to synchro. But I like the fact that it gives the deck a little staying power. One of the problems that I've ran into while playing Graydles is it feels like when you kind of run through your monsters, you really don't have anything to fall back on. This is just a card that it gets you your monsters back. You can use those monsters however you want, and it's one of the reasons why I actually played Debris Dragon in the deck, because Debris Dragon was just an easy way to get, like, you know, Graydle Gator and just go into like a really nice XC play. This card is actually a Debris Dragon target too. I mean, you're not going to synchro with it because that would be 2 tuners, but still, it is another Debris Dragon target, which is like really cool. And again, the stats are pretty good because if you open with this, then you could just set it and that's a 2000 booty, which is pretty good. Effect number 2, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Graydle monster from your deck, including itself. So that is really good because A, this is not a once per turn effect. B, there are not a lot of cards that can summon themselves anymore. And C, this gets you Graydle Slime from your deck, which is an impossible card to get out. That's one of the reasons people don't run Graydle Slime. Usually you see it as like a 1 or a 0 up because it's 5 stars. It's just so difficult to kind of work with. I look at Graydle Slime Jr. This card is fucking amazing. Like, it does everything that Graydles kind of want to do. It works really well with Instant Fusion and like the Northern plays where Instant Fusion didn't really work in the deck before. I think it'll work now in the deck beautifully. The card has good stats in case you open with it. You can just set it. It replaces itself. It's a +1 on summon. Like, this card just does everything. Now, what I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for, I'm hoping that Graydles get another synchro, and I think what they need, and it's pretty obvious to everybody, that now that they have a level 2 tuner, they need a level 5 synchro, because the core of Graydles is the number 3. Like Gator and Eagle and, you know, like Cobra, they're all level 3. So if you already had a tuner that was 5 and you made an 8 synchro, the next like logical step would be to kind of give them a level 5. And honestly, what they really need, they kind of need like they need a level 5 synchro that's like a Tiramisu. You know what I mean? Because Graydles have a really hard time with decks like Magic Specters and Cosmo getting rid of things when you can't target them. So they need like maybe a 2200, 2100 attack monster that's like a level 5 synchro that says, you know, like shuffle up to 2 Graydles, you know, Graydle cards from your graveyard back into your deck, and then spin cards from your opponent's side of the board back into their deck. Like, that would be really, really good. But I'm hoping that this is a sign that Graydles are going to get another synchro, even though this card is kind of meant for, like, it's kind of meant to make Graydle Dragon a lot easier to summon. I think this card's amazing. I think I would run it as a 2 of. The only reason I say it's not a 3 of, because I could see it getting kind of cluttery. You'd never want to open with like multiples of this card. It is searchable by impact anyway, and it is a little reliant on you having like a decent graveyard. If not, you could just again set it because it has a good booty. But just in general, I think the card is fantastic, and this is an example of good card design. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.